The New South Wales government has today ramped up its climate targets, and they're not 2050 targets either. They want change at the end of this decade, pledging today a 50% cut of emissions by 2030 instead of 25% as previously planned. That means New South Wales now has the most aggressive 2030 emissions target in the country, ahead of even Victoria. His take? Let's bring in the leader of One Nation in New South Wales, Mark Latham. He joins me now. Well, it's safe to say every Greens favourite Liberal there, Matt Keane, has made people happy tonight, but I'm not so sure taxpayer or workers are going to be happy. What do you think, Mark?
Well, farmers and miners, the National Party is supporting this in New South Wales. Peter, there's no woke cause that the National Party here won't support. Whether it's critical race theory in our schools, LGBTIQ teaching in our schools, 100% renewables, and now they want to go faster down the path of net zero emissions. Just last year, John Barilaro, the leader of the New South Wales National Party, said if you go net zero emissions in our state, it will kill off mining and agriculture. His primary constituent. How could anyone vote for the New South Wales National Party when their own leader said this sort of policy is a massive economic wrecking ball through regional New South Wales and, of course, most particularly the Hunter Valley? So by their own language, it's a disastrous policy. You know, the poor old New South Wales Nats, they couldn't knock the top off a custard that week in submitting to Matt Keane. And all the other data tells you this is a disastrous policy. They modelled this in New Zealand, 17% throwing away of GDP. In Australia, it'll be worse because we're a more energy transport intensive economy.